It has been almost 2 years since Western-led sanctions on your country were lifted, following by an announcement made by the International Atomic Energy Agency confirming that Tehran had contained its nuclear program. Where do you see the direction of the nuclear deal headed, and what is the key to solving the issue?
Iran believes the sanctions have been lifted and we should be seen as a normal country. We conduct all our nuclear operations under the supervision of the IAEA, and we're not worried about our peaceful nuclear activities in the future. This has been confirmed by all the P5+1 nations except for Mr. Donald Trump. We believe the regime for supervising atomic activities should be assigned to the IAEA due to its origin of technical responsibilities. The IAEA will be able to supervise all these activities.
Beijing recently hosted the Belt and Road Forum, and Iran is a very important country along the Belt and Road. But at the moment, some Chinese companies have concerns over Iran's domestic situation. What is your message to Chinese investors?
After solving the nuclear problem, we reached the agreement with the P5+1 nations, especially with the support of China. And now, at state level, China doesn't have any concerns about cooperation with Iran in economic activities. So the private sector doesn't need to have concerns either. Those outside voices that claim Iran is a risky country for investment, what they're trying to do is to terrify Chinese companies so that they can replace them and become trade partners with Iran.
President Hasan Rouhani recently won the re-election. What changes do you think his re-election will bring to the country's relationship with China, especially in the sector of oil and gas, given that China is the biggest importer of Iranian crude oil?
After the sanctions were lifted, we can sell more of our oil and gas to China. And during President Xi Jinping's recent visit to Iran, we signed an agreement, and both countries vowed to provide security on the transit of the energy from Iran to China. We believe in the second term of Dr. Rouhani as President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, there will be more fields and capabilities to increase our cooperation with China, especially in the energy sector.
Some Western media say China is fostering good relationship with Iran solely for the purpose of importing its crude oil. Do you agree with that assertion, and what is the bigger picture you see here?
China right now has diversified its imports of oil not just from Iran but from other countries as well. As a supplier of oil to the world, we're trying to diversify our export destinations in the world. This is all very natural. Iran and China are complementary economies. We import goods and technology from China, and China imports oil from Iran. But for Iran, we're excited to implement the Belt and Road Initiative proposed by President Xi Jinping because it's beneficial to both countries.